are not ready for prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time. That's the name.
Prime time.
Prime time.
What time is it? Showtime, prime time.
It's XL Prime Time, featuring Joe C.
I reduced my toilet paper down to 3 squares.
Matt Hayes.
Big asses and big thighs, yeah.
And Leon Searcy.
Bringing you love, peace, and soul.
How you like me now? How you like me? This is the show that never ends. We're so glad you could attend. Come inside, come inside.
The Jacksonville Jaguars select Trevor Lawrence, quarterback Clemson. The Jacksonville Jaguars select Trayvon Walker, linebacker Georgia. The Jacksonville Jaguars select Brian Thomas Jr., wide receiver LSU.
More of that. That's what we want in the city of Jacksonville. And with that, welcome back, our friends, because this is a show that never ends. The NFL Draft is finally here, which leads me to my Corona call. What a day to let out the Corona yell. The NFL Draft
It's here.
has finally made it. It's day, decision, draft day. I love it. Can't wait. Actually, it will come a little bit around, close to 9 o'clock tonight. But the party is already on. So you're fired up, Big Search. You're fired up, Matty. We're looking at all the possibilities. And I am really anxious to see what the Jaguars' activity is with that 5th pick in the NFL Draft. All the chatter. I know you guys probably covered this a little bit yesterday when I was out. But the idea of them actually moving up and being aggressive, not moving back, not hoping the phone rings so they can step back, but moving up. Is that craziness? I call that craziness. That seems way far-fetched for me.
Well, I mean, listen, are they posturing is the question. There's a lot of smoke screens going on. But all those smoke screens go away today because we are here now. We are draft day eligible, 8 p.m. tonight.
Yeah.
So we're going to see what the that's Ashton Gently talk. There's Ashton Gently talk.
Genty. We're still at Gently with you.
Am I
Genty.
Do I say
By the way,
I'm not put the
Well, you better
emphasis on the
learn it
T.
because he's going to be the running back here.
Genty.
and we do not want a gently.
No, we
used
don't.
running
we don't
back.
want a gently.
I don't want, I
No,
want to
we
speak
do
that
not.
into this universe. Absolutely not. It's Genty. There we go.
Yeah.
All right. I got to get it right because it's going to be here pretty soon.
Well, I tell you what, I'm so hesitant on this, and I've got some ammo to back it up because a lot of you people are Ashton crazy right now.
We don't care about your ammo, Joe. How about
I'm just
that?
giving it to you.
All right.
But everyone wants to rename Jacksonville Gentyville now. People are going so nuts for this guy.
Listen, I don't mind if we can call it Gentyville. All I care is that if we do draft him,
You get 3 OL behind
yeah,
him.
he better bring some luggage with him, some linemen with him.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
yeah.
all I care.
The next 3 picks better
Yeah,
be
but-
OL.
Yes.
Yeah, the only way it'll work is if you follow it with pick number 36 as an offensive lineman, interior offensive lineman. I feel like there's just so many things that people are kind of swimming in their Jaguar brain with right now, trying to figure out what it's all about. Let's just talk to the media mogul, okay? Let's just talk to who once was named the Road Scout. I'm so close to saying that this guy has
Still
more
is the Road
nicknames.
Scout.
He has more nicknames than he deserves, okay? And I love Dan Hicken. I love him. But you are out of hand with your nicknames, Mr. Media Mogul.
How you like me now? How you like me now? You got the best intro song for the show starter. That
Hey,
was
we
outstanding.
have the best show, Hick.
Oh, damn. That's right. That's right.
And if I hear
How you like me now? The show formerly known as the Lunch Bunch.
Yes, correct.
If I hear you carousing with another lunch bunch, you know that we are going to come to knuckles when I get down there.
Hey, by the way, boys, just inside intel here for you. Forget the draft. We'll get to that. I'll tell Sears and Maddie this. Word on the streets is Cowart angling hard to get down here after the show.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Not surprising.
I mean, the fireball is
surprising.
flowing over
Yes.
here.
Probably just wants a couple waters.
Right.
And
Yeah,
just the water.
snack.
Just to hydrate a little, Hick. It's hot out there.
Isn't that like a lemonade stand that they have there? Isn't that what it is?
It's a beautiful beach day out here, man.
Yeah.
This is a great place to have a draft party if you can't have it at the stadium, man. And this must be a great day for Sears, thinking about his day back then when he was a first round draft pick. I mean, this is as good as it gets, man. This is a great day for a lot of young men. Great day. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I was just
Here's the
telling
Lemon
Matt,
Bar, by the way. I'm at the Lemon Bar, in case you're wondering.
I was just telling Matt that about this time in 1992, the Cowboys just rang my doorbell and came in my house negotiating my contract. So that's how far back that was.
Man, long time ago.
Long time ago. And the
All right,
Where did the
galaxy
years
far,
go?
far away.
Where did the year? By the way, did you guys? Wydell called in today, Sears, and he talked about how he had a kind of an interesting point. He talked about running backs, and he said, I played for the Cowboys, and we had Nate Newton and 2-A, and he goes, and we all sucked. And then Emmett came. And then I went and played for the Broncos, and we had Zimmerman and Lanier, and we all sucked, and then TD came. Because even here in Jacksonville, we had good running backs, James Stewart, Natron Means, but then Freddie T came, and all of a sudden we were a great offensive line. Sometimes a running back can help make the offensive line a little bit better.
So we sucked the whole time before Freddie T came. This is what we tried to say. I'm not taking
See
that.
how he lumped you in?
His
I'm
words,
not
not
taking
yours,
that
Leon.
right there, huh? I don't know what Waddell's talking about.
But I feel like, all right, so I'm just at least going to I've got to take the opposite side of this because there is just so much mad Genty love. I have some numbers, Danny, that will at the very least make a case that when you go back over the last decade and a half, you can go all the way back to 2008. Okay,
Yes,
so that's even more time. And so few Super Bowl champions have had running backs that even went over the 1,000-yard mark. Matter of fact, it was in the neighborhood of 15 of the last 19 that have had running backs as their leading rusher less than 1,000 yards that have hoisted the Lombardi Trophy. It's just, you have to consider the
Why are you letting him bring us down, guys?
I'm just telling you.
Why are you letting Joe bring us down?
Look, he is who he is, man.
Somebody pour Joe a fireball and calm him down. It's a copycat league. We just watched Saquon lead the Eagles.
I know.
Come on.
I just can't be a copycat. That's the only reason I'm doing it.
By the way, flash forward about 5 months, 6 months, you're going to see Hick tweeting out, never should have drafted a running back.
Oh, God, yeah. No, I'm already – listen, I'm concerned because I'm worried about the Bears and this trade you keep hearing about.
Yeah.
And I'm worried about the Jags going to 10 because I'm – how do you guys feel about the McMillan kid? You want a guy who doesn't love football?
I do not.
As your first-round pick?
I do not. I want all 53 on that team who love football. That's
not intangibly rich, is it, boys?
No.
I didn't think so. No.
I mean, we can't. I don't care how talented he is. He doesn't want to study film, and he doesn't like football. Ooh.
Well, maybe you take Matthew Golden. He likes football.
And he likes
Luther
football.
Burden.
There we go. I'll take him. I'll take him at 10, or I'll take an offensive lineman and go. Whatever. Who knows who? See, if you make the trade to 10, then you got to kind of see how it plays out. You don't know who's going to get taken at 6, 7, 8, and 9. You just know Genty's going bye-bye at 5.
Right. Someone's jumping up to get him, and it's just not it's not a deep enough draft to drop back if you don't really get a decent offering from somebody else, because most people are at least talking right now, Danny, that they think that there's only 5, maybe 6 players that people are desperate to have and add to their football team, and then after that, the well runs a little dry.
And the Jags last year, I looked this up this morning, 18.8 points per game. I mean, that's bad. You go look at all the Lions and the Eagles and the teams that were winners, 27, 29, 32 points a game. I mean, we got to score some touchdowns. And one thing the Genty kid did is run it into the end zone 29 times for Boise this year. That ain't bad.
18 points. I mean, that's pathetic, man.
Yeah. I mean, as bad as the defense was.
That defense was horrific. 18's worse.
Yeah.
It's much
you
worse,
take away.
actually.
Brian Thomas Jr. had 10 touchdowns. And after that, I mean, I think we scored like 34 touchdowns total. It was not good, guys. We got to get guys who can score.
Yeah.
So
the other part of it is that there's only one wide receiver on this football team right now, and his name is Brian Thomas Jr. He had 892 more yards than any other receiver on this football team last year.
Yeah.
So
if you talk playmakers, though, isn't it a little bit tantalizing to think of Ashton Genty with the ball in his hands 250 times and Brian Thomas Jr. with the ball in his hands 100 times? Now we're maybe talking about something here.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. As long as there's a line that gives Trevor time to throw it and Genty time to actually not get hit in the backfield.
I'll leave that up to Sears. Sears has got to figure that out for me.
Can I ask Dan one question about the lemon bar setup?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that your security guard or someone from the Church of Latter-day Saints pacing back and forth behind you?
Right now.
That's a good question. I missed him.
He's got to turn around.
I don't have security here except Ballcap Johnny. Johnny Ballcap's here.
Okay, so that must be someone for 1010XL right behind.
So he's here to help me. But other than that, yeah, we're I don't here at the Lemon Bar. No security needed. Everybody's friends.
Right, you're kind of the mayor of Jack's Beach anyway.
Jack's Beach is if I said earlier, if these streets could talk back in the day, now we did some ripping and running back here.
Mm-hmm.
You and Hacker times down here.
Yeah. Be the first Hicken elected mayor. I love that idea. By the way.
Thank you.
All right, so set it up for us as far as what's going on tonight.
That's a good one.
Yes.
Tonight at the Lemon Bar, I think the party officially starts at 6.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you what, though, I saw a couple fans are hanging banners at Seahorse right next door because they're spending the night out here, which is kind of a smart move.
Yeah.
So they're going to have a good time out here. I think Brian Thomas Jr. is coming out here. Is that correct?
Yep.
I think E.T.'s going to be out here, so you want to have a good time, just come find E.T. a little bit later. You'll have some fun. But, yeah, the Lemon Bar is going to be hopping. It's going to be all night. They got giveaways, draft party. Lots of folks coming. We got a good lunch crowd here. The music's already playing. It's Jacksonville, man. It's the beach. It's the pool. It's hotels. It's as good as it gets, man. It's a great place.
Yeah,
Can't be at the stadium. Be here.
Yeah, either place. They've done a great job at Daly's over the years, but this might be a permanent move, and they can make sure that it's a sellout at the Seahorse every year too. They can book some rooms.
I got you guys a benefit. You guys always get free food down there.
Mm-hmm.
We don't in the morning. So I got free lunch from the boss today. So that was big.
Nice.
Yeah. You heard me right, JJ. What? Oh my God.
Nobody eats free like you guys in the morning.
We each pay for it is what we do.
I'm not talking about. I'm talking about the drill.
Oh yeah.
They
By
eat
the
like
way,
kings.
Except for the Cheez-Its, right, Sears?
Yeah, Jesus.
Right, we have not talked to you about that yet.
Yeah.
No,
We
you
have
never
not
did. That wasn't my deal, though. That was a Prosser thing. But, yeah, he was after the Cheez-It Bandit. But
you know what we were going to do? Like literally that week when it happened, the Cheez-Its were buy one, get one free at Publix, like the big boxes, the big
that would've
fat
been
boxes.
good. Mm-hmm.
We were going to get like 12 and stick them in the refrigerator. Just blow his mind.
Yeah, because he's digging those fingers into those Cheez-Its.
Of course he is.
And
My bag was light every time I picked it up.
yeah.
Liar.
You know how you
those things,
You
man.
put the cups over the liquor bottles just so they can kind of keep an eye on it. He was making sure he was just rationing.
Yeah, of course he was. Yes.
Just a few Cheez-Its out of each bag. Oh,
Always much appreciated, Leon. Thank you so much.
No problem.
All right, Dan, enjoy yourself. We know
I will.
you'll be between there and the stadium throughout the day and night.
Yeah, man. Yeah, have a good day. And you're coming out here. And, fans, come on out. Have fun. It should be a good time out here. It's going to be packed, I'm sure of that. So, right here at the beach, at the Lemon Bar. See you, boys.
Mogul.
All right,
Thank you,
brother.
buddy.
All right.
Thank y'all.
All right, so he's having a good time.
What a life that guy
Oh,
lives.
he does.
kidding, right?
Yes.
And he is mayoral. Okay, he is mayoral.
He is mayoral. Whether it's Jack's Beach or Neptune Beach, whatever you want to say out there, he's mayoral.
It doesn't matter. All right. So you got the kind of the setup, and you can see on YouTube, we will be cutting live to the Lemon Bar. Taylor will be out there later. E.T. will be out there. Brian Thomas Jr. will sit down, and they'll do an interview with him in the 6 o'clock hour. But more than anything else, you guys just jump in with us and have some fun. Talk some ball with us. We are simply asking. It's draft day. It's decision day. It's Duval day. Let us know what you're going to go with as far as that fifth pick. What kind of craziness can you picture in tonight's festivities? And will the Jacksonville Jaguars make a bold move and step up into one of the top 4 slots? Let's at least talk about that coming up here in a second with our XLP Big Three. We each have would you describe it, Leon, yours as a crazy scenario? All right, so.
It's doable.
Okay.
It's
all right,
crazy,
good.
but it's doable.
All right, good. That's what we want. We'll do that coming up on XL Primetime.
The most famous county in the country. Duval! 1010XL. Duval.
Are you ready to step up to luxury?
Check out the power of our exciting 2025 lineup, including the Lyric, IQ, Optique, and the stunning Vistique.
With over 15 electric Cadillacs in stock and more on the way, it's the perfect time to trade in your Tesla and embrace luxury with a twist.
At Randy Marion, there are no tariffs. So visit Randy Marion Cadillac on Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville, and see why our electric lineup turns heads.
Don't miss out. Drive Cadillac, electric or gas. We have both. Plus tax tag title $9.99 admin fee and resist all on approved credit.
Need fresh and flavorful lunch? Chicken Salad Chick has scratch-made Southern-style chicken salad in every bite. It's quick and delicious. So why wait? Come taste the best chicken salad today at Town Center, Durbin Park, or Butler Point at Chicken Salad Chick.
The Run Good Poker Series is blasting its way through Best Bet Jacksonville now through May 4th. Get in on the action with 10 events, highlighted by the $1,200 main event with a $300,000 guaranteed prize pool. And that's not all. Dive into the action of event number 1, a $400 no-limit hold'em tourney with a $200,000 guarantee. Ready to secure your seat at the poker tables? Win your entry through satellite tournaments. Join us at Best Bet for the Run Good Poker Series and your shot at poker glory. For all the details, visit bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Okay, I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 10. Charles.
6.
Oh, so close. Betty for the steal.
What about the bank that helps you reach your financial goals? Synovus.
Let's see, judges. Yes, looks like we have a winner.
That's a number?
Sorry, Charlie. Remember, a solid financial future doesn't happen by chance. Talk with Synovus about your potential today. Brought to you by Synovus Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. The number was 4.
Mia O'Brien.
Don't I know you from somewhere?
On Helmets and Heels, noon to 2.
I swear to you, I know her.
Then there's the 1010XL video and social media channels.
I would know her voice anywhere.
All Things Mia is driven by Arlington Toyota.
On 1010XL.
Pickett here with my concierge doctor, Richard Townsend. Doc T, how does a concierge direct primary care operate?
We are a membership-based primary care made directly between a patient and physician. We'll have a limited amount of patients that allows us to give unlimited access and personal service to you. This individualized approach has been shown to lower hospitalizations as well as maintain healthier lives. We also give 24/7 access via phone to me outside of our scheduled office hours.
To learn more, go to mypvconcierge.com.
Summer in Jacksonville. Sun's out, flip-flops on, and whoa! Well, there goes Uncle Bob into the pool again. Protect your pool deck with Don't Slip Deck Coatings of Jacksonville. Their multi-layered slip-resistant coatings keep you on your feet, not on your backside. Durable, stylish, and way cheaper than an ER visit. Don't Slip Deck Coatings even has indoor options so your kitchen floor isn't a skating rink. Call 904-466-1839 for a free quote and follow Don't Slip Jacks on Facebook and Instagram.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Chargers sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Our slogan, Know Before You Blow, applies to more than just DUI cases. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett of Lockett Law. Battery charges can result in jail time and criminal convictions too, so know before you blow a gasket and hit a loved one or a stranger. Drug crimes like possession of marijuana and cocaine will land you in cuffs too, so know before you blow. In a boating under the influence case, you also have the option to blow or not to blow. So know your options. Know before you blow. Go to knowbeforeyouBlow.com now. Offices Jacksonville.
Life is just so busy this time of year. Between work, the kids' games, family vacations, I need a yard hero to free up my weekends.
You mean somebody who does mowing and trimming?
Yeah.
How about mosquito control?
Yeah.
What about irrigation and pet waste removal?
You do that too? You're my lawn hero.
Find your lawn hero at heroeslawncare.com. Heroes Lawn Care, because every lawn needs a hero.
It's Work Zone Awareness Week, Florida. Every year, lives are lost in work zones because of speeding and distractions. When you see orange cones, remember, slow down, follow the signs, and stay focused. Workers are counting on you to get home safely, and so are their families. Let's work together to prevent accidents and save lives. A safety reminder from the Florida Department of Transportation. Slow your roll. Safety's the goal.
You've got a lot on your plate. The last thing you need is car trouble. At Maxie's Mechanics, we help you keep your cars, trucks, and SUVs running safely. Visit MaxieAutoRepair.com today for honest service, reliable repairs, and peace of mind for you and your family.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Liam Cohen, new head coach, kind of put his foot down a little bit. Right or wrong, he's decided that you brought me in here to fix Trevor Lawrence. Give me the tools in which to do it. If they stay at 5 and don't make him move, it will be Ashton Genty. If a trade offer comes in to move back, they would entertain it, but they would only do so to move back to a spot where they feel comfortable that they can get Tet McMillan.
This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
That is Todd McShay, and his show definitely centers around this time of the year. This is, well, he's just one of the guys that was cut basically predicting the draft as best he can, came under the wing of Mel Kiper at ESPN. Now he's out on his own, and you can definitely check out the Todd McShay show. But McShay, it's interesting the way he just laid that out, is that there are two powers that be in that building. Liam Cohen on the coaching side, Gladstone on the GM side. They want to work in concert. They want to go in step with one another to make sure that they get the best possible set of players and obviously return this team to winning ways. What do you think of that scenario that he just laid out? Because there was at least a little bit of a disagreement between the two as far as, are you going to take him that high? Do you value him that high? Or should you be looking somewhere else?
Well, I mean, there's got to be some give and take. I mean, both of them. Let's just take the scenario that they want different guys or whatever. I mean, there's got to be emphasis on the good and the bad in both candidates, and then and who gets their way when it's all said and done. I mean, when you're in that war room, I mean, it'd be interesting to see who gets their way, who makes the argument for this guy or that guy, and who is able to pull the trigger and get the guy done. So, I mean, you want them on the same page, so to say. But I'm sure there's going to be some conflict somewhere during the draft. So, be interesting.
As well there should, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you don't want nobody in there that agrees with you every time. I'm sure they're going to have some issues with guys and who they should pick and what we should go after.
So, we started last segment. We were talking about how, our crazy scenarios. And I know we're going to get into that. But, so I may as well start out with mine, answering your question by giving you mine.
Okay.
I'm okay with Genty. I'm a big body guy. I want big bodies.
Yeah.
That's how you win football. Big ass, big thighs is how you win in football, okay? But I'm all right if it's Genty if something else happens with it.
Okay.
If you give away a first-round pick next year and one of your threes this year to get back into this first round and get a guy like Gray Zabel.
Okay.
So if you leave tonight with Ashton Genty at running back and Gray Zabel as your starting left guard.
All right, that's a good
very,
scenario.
very happy with that.
And
even if it means you've given away a first next year.
Okay, so you've given away a first. Did you say another one? Did you say
a third? One of the thirds.
All right.
The later of the two thirds.
Okay. And hell, what you're hoping is that you're become a team with a winning record and you have a third-round pick that's much further down the board.
Of course.
You would give away next year's
I would.
first?
A lot of people
100% would.
100% people are talking about that, JJ, that you would have to surrender. Not only would you be obviously swapping picks, but if you jump back in, like, in other words, your scenario, you're not.
Well, here's my scenario. My scenario is
that could be a top 10 pick next year.
Right, but my scenario is you've done your due diligence. You know the guy that you want, the two guys that you want. You're 100% sure these guys are going to be legit dudes in the league. All right? That's number one. Number two, let's not forget you're talking about a coach who we just heard saying, you brought me here to fix Trevor Lawrence. Those are two key ways to fix Trevor Lawrence. And number three, and I think as important as anything, you've got a general manager in James Gladstone who comes from an organization that doesn't give a flip about first-round picks.
They have proven that they can succeed without him.
Win Super Bowls and go to the playoffs over and over. So, yeah, I think if you have guys that will work in what you want to do, and you've gone at great length to do your due diligence on them, I don't care about next year's number one. I just don't.
Wow. It's a lot to give up.
It's a lot to give up. Well, I can appreciate that argument, though. I can.
Well, it's a lot to give up until you go 10-7 and win the division. Then the pick's 20-something. Who cares?
True.
Well, if the more successful you are, the further down you get on the draft board, the more it makes sense.
Okay, well, here's my scenario. My scenario is that I do like you giving Trevor a running game to help him out, but right now, as far as our offensive line, it doesn't look like that's in play. All right, so what I would do, what I'm hoping for is this. I'm hoping Cam's going to go first to the Titans. All right, we're going to say that Dart goes second to Cleveland. Something you said crazy word, right?
Mm-hmm.
Abdullah goes to the Giants, and then Will Campbell goes to the Patriots.
Okay.
And there he is, the Golden Goose, the Holy Grail.
The Holy Grail.
Travis Hunter falls to you at 5, and you utilize him. What you give Trevor another weapon. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's not polished as a wide receiver, absolutely not. But he's a game changer. He's a game wrecker, and he, by the way, he's a shutdown corner, so to say. So now you've covered two dynamics of your offense and your defense, because he's going to play both ways. I don't care what you say; he's going to play both ways.
Right?
Maybe I don't know how long, but
not as long. But now you got your other corner, and now you got your 1A and you got your 1B at wide receiver.
Yeah.
So let me say one thing real quick about his scenario.
Yeah.
If what McShay says is true, that Liam Cohen put his foot down and said, "You brought me here to fix 16."
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think even if that plays out, they're still taking Genty.
Okay, but how and why? Okay,
how and why? Because he wants to fix 16.
Yeah, but there's more than one way to fix 16. That's 100% part of this.
Right, but I'm just saying if what McShay says is true, clearly Liam Cohen wants Ashton Genty here.
Yeah,
and if not him, trading back and getting Ted McMillan.
Yeah. What is crazy to imagine though is that Liam Cohen did great things down in Tampa as a play caller with a draft pick that was way down the board. He made Bucky Irving, similar size too, by the way, made Bucky Irving look like what you would like to see in your run game, a guy that was dynamic, that could get out of the backfield, could catch the ball here or there, but then dang sure could tote it, and he was drafted. He's a 5th-round pick.
Right, okay? I understand that, but maybe Bucky Irving was underdrafted.
Well,
maybe he should have been drafted much higher all along anyway.
But would you rather be spending a number 5 pick overall on a running back or a 5th-round pick on a running back? Well, that is doing the work that you need him to do.
Well, I understand that. I just, in my head, I think you have a much greater percentage of hit rate with the 5 overall guy in Genty than you do with a 5th overall or 5th round in Dylan Sampson from Tennessee.
Yeah. Well, yeah, if you use him as a good example, that is a good example. But Leon, you like what Dave Weidel was saying to Hickman this morning, it does make some sense. A running back will make, and our texters, Primetimers, you guys hit the text line, 641-1010, they're pointing out a lot of the same thing, that a running back can make a lot of you guys look good, but I just got to believe that this offensive line is nowhere near where it needs to be to pave the way.
And that's what I was thinking about when it came to Tampa Bay. Yeah, you had a 4th-round pick and Bucky Irving come in, but that offensive line is legit.
Yeah.
Young and legit.
Yeah.
So I think that Liam Cohen is looking at this offensive line and saying we got to overdraft as far as the running back goes, because this offensive line is not as legit as the one as I just left.
All right.
So you got to bring you a dynamic running back in to compensate for the lack of productivity you have up front.
And let me tell you something, that dovetails right into my crazy scenario.
Okay.
If you're willing to overdraft at 5, you're certainly willing to pay more for what you should to get back into the 1st round to get a guard to help him.
Yeah.
You may as well go all in, because if you think you're going all in with the number 5 pick as a running back,
right?
Just, you know what? Jump in the deep end. What do you got to lose if you're looking at the history of this franchise?
Your 1st-round pick next year,
yeah, but that,
for a guard,
right? But
later in the draft,
what if
you would have like a top 10 to 15 pick next year, makes literally no sense.
Or the guard you pick becomes an all-pro guard, and you become a team that wins your division, and who cares about the 24th?
So this guard's going to win you the division this year?
No, JJ, he's not, but he's going to make your offensive line better, which gives you an opportunity
to win. Yeah, but he's still a rookie. I mean, how often do rookies come in the league at any position and start right away and become good enough to help
why do you care about next year's pick then? If that's your rationale, who cares about next year's pick?
Because it could be... I mean, you're building this obviously one of the worst rosters in the NFL. You're not going to just change things around by taking a guard. Like, you need to have next year's top 10 pick, 15, whatever it's going to be.
Right, but you just said what are the odds of
you're not going to take a guard with that pick next year.
Right, but you said what are the odds a rookie makes the impact in year one? So what I'm saying is if that's what you believe, that's your philosophy, then who cares about next year's first-round pick?
Then
if you believe your guy that you have that you trade back in to get is a guy that will be with you for 10 years and be an all-pro guy, do it.
Yeah, no one loves guard till you need him. No one loves guard till you need him.
So disrespected, man.
As C Daddy did ask about Maddie's love for big men, he just said, what? And I said, hey, he loves big butts and big thighs. He's all in. He's all in on that.
The game is a low center of gravity game. Is it not, Leon?
Yeah.
It is low man wins. Absolutely.
Okay, but what we're talking about...
Have you seen the waist down on the guards in this team last year?
Yeah.
In the center?
Well...
I mean, did you see it? Even the tackles.
Yeah, I would use Ezra Cleveland as an example. He did not look like a guard, okay? He did not. Bottom half of Ezra, it did not look like what you guys... What Leon is always describing as far as what you need from an interior lineman. That low, powerful base that you can just operate from and just start moving people around. You describe it well all the time.
Yeah, you need leverage guys. You need guys that move people.
Furniture movers.
Get people out the way. Absolutely, you need it. And listen, I might get teary eyed if we go get guard after we get.
If they trade back in and get a guard,
I might get teary eyed. I may cry a little.
So you're saying if there were,
it'd be a nice marriage.
You like my crazy?
It'd be a nice marriage.
Yeah,
because you're sending a message. You're saying, okay, we're gonna go running back.
So much of a crazy move, actually.
I think they could trade back in, but giving up that first round is never going to happen because it's absolutely bonkers.
Right. I don't.
Well, you're not doing that. That's the only way you're moving back in.
No, it's not.
I don't think so. I don't think you're having to give. You have a lot of draft capital that you are willing to give up, and I don't think you need to surrender a first to jump back into.
Yeah, but I think Gray's Abel's going to go like in the first 15 picks, is what I'm saying. Then you're going to need to use that.
That's different.
Yeah, that's a crazier scenario then. But I could see him being in the 25th spot, something like that, and you can go back.
He's literally in top 15 now every mock.
No, he might be. He might be. But I go back to what this team has not done, and even with Tank Bigsby stepping up a little bit last year and Travis Etienne having to surrender carries to Tank a little more last year, this team still barely averaged 2.13 yards per rush before getting hit. Okay, before getting smacked right in the mouth. And so this football team cannot don't go get Ashton Genty and have him become a guy, exactly.
Or let me give you this response.
Get raked as soon as the ball is handed off.
All right, I'll give you this response. Ashton Genty last year in college football had more yards after the first contact than any running back total yards in the nation.
Which was great, but I'm just visualizing the highlight reel that we have all seen from Ashton Genty. First contact was a couple yards past the line of scrimmage.
Not every time,
but I'm just, you know what I'm saying.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, is that he had room to run.
Yes.
And this team,
initially, for the most part, yes.
This team was the second worst team in NFL play last year in terms of first contact.
Right, so you're buying into my idea of trading back into the first round and getting a guard. We're all in the same boat.
No, I've said it all along. If you come out of Thursday night or you go Ashton Genty and then a big offensive lineman with your 36th pick, I'm interested.
Donovan.
I'm interested in that. If Tyler Booker somehow or another lands there, and you can go down the line with a handful of other guys, Donovan Jackson, like we both love a lot, Leon. If you have a guy like that, I'm interested. But you cannot put Ashton Genty behind this line and expect to get the same thing that Saquon provided for the Eagles last year. It's foolish to think that. And let's make this a 10-10 take real quick because we need to at least sum this all up in this one, and then we'll keep it going as far as other choices with that 5th pick overall.
Now, Joe C's 10-10 take. Slow smoked and served up by Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmaster since 68.
Sonny's has that full menu. I always like to use their menu as a good example when it comes to a football team because you need all those tremendous sides. You need some of those selections that you can go to. You're not going to go ribs every day or brisket every day or turkey, but you know you got them all on the menu. So take advantage. Enjoy any one of your area Sonny's. So for Saquon Barkley to do what he did last year, you have to look at the entire makeup of that football team. It was some kind of good, some kind of impressive, and Saquon was able to step in and be that one extra piece to put it all together to where they could win the Super Bowl. He went over 2,000 yards. We all know that. It's a copycat league, and everyone's going to say, hey, we need some of that on our football team. Totally get it. But you need to show me on this football team, after you draft Ashton Jenney, where that offensive line is, where the other wide receiver is to go along with BTJ, where Dallas Goedert is for this football team as a tight end, where on and on and on. Jalen Hurts with his run game and that defense. They had so many great players. And not only did they add Saquon, but they had Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell as 2 big-time draft picks a season ago. That's the 10-10 take, Leon. That was a complete football team when they added Saquon to the mix.
And I can appreciate what the Philadelphia Eagles did. And you're right, it is a copycat league. When you see what Saquon did with a good offensive line, I like that it's going back to that 90s football. And if you you assemble you a nice offensive line, I kept saying it for the last couple of years. Trevor's going to get better when the running game gets better. Give him a good running game, he'll get better. All the pressure, him relying on him to make all these different throws, it's going to be a much smoother transition if he's got a good running game to go with it.
Yeah, it's so much an important piece of the puzzle. All right, so you guys keep it going, 641-1010. Hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. We'll be heading down to the Lemon Bar throughout the afternoon, checking in with what's going on down there. Don't forget, you've got all sorts of party plans throughout the evening. You can watch on YouTube. You can listen throughout the day and evening to everything that we got cooking on the flagship home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
What is it that this town really does well?
1010XL, Jacksonville's football station.
All right, gentlemen, we've trained for this. We've battled the elements. But if there's one thing we can't afford, it's letting the heat take us out before the big game.
But, Coach, the AC at my house is busted. I barely got any sleep last night.
Well, Johnson, you should have called Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. They're the real MVPs. Now let's cue the cool music.
Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. The coolest cats in town.
Hey, I've got that craving again. How about some Mr. Chubby's wings?
Have you had the Chubby style wings? Grilled to perfection with Chubby's secret seasoning.
You know I have. They are so delicious. I swear you can't find anywhere in town with better wings and better prices on drinks.
So many different specials each night, too. Well, I'm ready to chub it up again.
Me too.
See all their specials at MrChubby'sWings.com. Locations on Fleming Island, the West Side, and now Ponte Vedra Beach. Mr. Chubby's Wings. Before the game, after the game, and during the game.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On April 24, 2004, at the NFL Draft, the San Diego Chargers selected Ole Miss quarterback Eli Manning as the first overall pick. He was later traded to the New York Giants.
Are you struggling with hair loss? At IHRS, we understand because we've been there too. We're dedicated to finding the best solution tailored just for you.
My hair looks great. It was thinning, and IHRS restored my hair.
It's now fuller, it's thicker, voluminous. It's made me feel great.
With the latest technology and FDA-approved laser therapy, PRP, and non-surgical hair addition, we offer guaranteed solutions for men and women. With over 35 years of experience, IHRS found a hair restoration for us, and we can find one for you.
For me.
For me.
And me too.
Visit hairforme.com or call 904-777-IHRS. Get a free microscopic analysis and get to the root of your problem. This $395 $25 analysis is yours for free. Call 904-777-4477 now.
Interested in a unique date night? Gibby here. I took my wife Nikki to Wick a Candle Bar. She made her own custom candle right there in the store. Shop local at Wick a Candle Bar. Locations in San Marco and Jacks Beach.
This Work Zone Awareness Week, take a moment to think about the people behind the cones. Road workers risk their lives to keep Florida highways safe. Speeding, distractions, and ignoring signs can be deadly. Slow down, stay alert, and follow the rules. It's the best way to protect workers and yourself. Together, we can make a difference. From the Florida Department of Transportation, respect the zone so we all get home.
At Performance Painting, we've spent decades protecting commercial properties with durable, long-lasting coatings. And we can bring the same expertise when painting the exterior of your home. With industry-leading materials and a proven process, we extend the life of your home, reducing maintenance costs and preserving its value. Now, for a limited time, save $500 when you hire us to paint your home's exterior. Just mention 1010XL. Go to performancepainting.com to schedule a friendly estimate. Performance Painting. Repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting. Hey, Hicken here, or just call me Dreamfinders Danny. For a limited time to ring in the new year, Dreamfinders Homes is offering an amazing 4.99% fixed interest rate. Now's your chance to lock down that rate and get in the game. You heard me right. It's 4.99 fixed interest rate on select move-in ready homes. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for sales event information and get in the game. Interest rate available on select move-in ready homes. Restrictions and limitations apply. Go to dreamfindershomes.com for more details.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just a job, but an experience, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
With the 11th pick, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Leon Searcy, tackle, University of Miami.
Like we said, we don't win dinners on this one. Another need of somebody to block for those running back. Well, Leon Searcy, an outstanding player from Miami, originally thought was coveted by the old athletic director at Miami, Sam Jankovic, but who is now with New England. But so the Steelers go with an offensive lineman. So now that's 3 offensive linemen that have gone in the top 11. And Mel, is this a bit of a surprise that they don't go running back?
I don't think so, Chris. I think they need a left guard desperately. Certainly a running back would have filled the void, but they may be able to get a Derek Moore from Northeast Oklahoma in round 2. Leon Searcy maybe wasn't expected to be there. Everybody thought he would go to New England earlier. They traded down. That allowed him to slide to Pittsburgh, who needs to plug in a left guard as a starter immediately. Leon Searcy played a left tackle spot for Miami in that pro-style offense, so he's experienced in pass protection. Had to go up during his career against the likes of Hawkins and Cortez Kennedy, Jerome Brown, so you know he can go against top players and handle them in one-on-one situations. He projects inside the guard. He played that position earlier in his career, and he's a guy that they figure coming out of Miami will be able to step in immediately as a rookie and start at left guard, and also signability factor for the Steelers.
This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
I tell you what.
That was almost as bad as Logs getting kneecapped.
Well, what's up? What's up? I need Mel Kiper's social media thing.
It's unreal. I'm sure you can find it, but Mel Kiper hands out insults and compliments left and right. He
called Leon a guard.
He insults you. He compliments you. He insults you.
Yeah.
He says you went up against the bigs, the greats, so you know how to handle it, and then he puts you inside at guard.
Exactly. Trying to pigeonhole. Then he said
He said you played a guard at Miami.
Early in my career. I never played guard. I was the right tackle my whole career till my senior year.
Honestly.
Where's this intel coming from?
I do love the fact that it was a great example. That was Big Search. Round of applause as a first-round draft pick back in 1992.
11 overall.
11th in the land when the NFL draft was going down, and you heard a young Chris Berman, a younger Mel Kiper, who finally admits that tonight he's going to go take a leak at some point during the first round.
I was supposed to go 5th overall
to
the Patriots, but the Patriots traded back to 14, thinking I was going to still be there. Because our athletic director was with the Patriots. He left Miami. Sam Jankovic, yeah. So I could have been 5th overall, guard at 5.
Yeah. Yeah, guard. You ain't playing guard. But it's so funny the way that sets up beautifully to what we're talking about right now. They on the set, ESPN, Boomer, Mel, all of them, Tom Jackson, he was on that, right? They were all basically talking about how Pittsburgh needed to go with a running back. And you obviously gravitate to the skill position players. And they were immediately panning this pick and saying, oh, my gosh, they need another offensive lineman. They should have gone running back. It's the same conversation that we're having right here. Now, they wouldn't necessarily hammer Jacksonville for going offensive line as opposed to running back because they need it. But that is essentially what we're talking about here. And how did it go up there? I think you were pretty good, and I think the offensive line was pretty dang good.
Yeah, they're pretty good. I mean, Mel Kiper he wrote off Barry Foster. Yeah. And the reason why they were saying he should go off the run, but Barry Foster had the best career behind that offensive line that blocked for him.
Yes.
We had a solid offense. Listen, anytime you start the offensive line with DeMonte Dawson, you're pretty good.
Yeah.
And he was a staple there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's just.
But we don't have none of that on our team. Let's just make that clear.
Not right now.
Yeah, we got to work on it.
Yeah, not right now. All right, 641-1010. You guys hit the text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures. We would love to hear from you. One texter, our prime timer, saying, how about this scenario? Genty at 5, trade back in late first round for Luther Burden, go all in on getting Trevor his weapons, figure out the rest later. And we did look back at what the unbelievable move that Trent Baalke made, such a slick plan to say, I'm going to go linebacker, and then I'm going to come back with another linebacker, which is what he did in the Trayvon Walker draft. Number 1 overall, then he traded back into 27th and took another linebacker in Devin Lloyd, who right now is not looking like he's going to get his 5th-year option picked up. And then they had to sit out the 2nd round, came back in 3rd round, and went with another linebacker. Just genius,
team, right?
Genius stuff from Trent Baalke.
And picked the wrong linebacker with the first pick. Don't forget about that one.
Oh, yes. Very true. You could have gone Aiden Hutchinson over Trayvon Walker. That debate will rage on. JJ, when he traded back in, they gave up the 2nd round pick, of course.
Yeah, the 33rd, and then the 106th, which was a 4th, and the 180th, which was a 6th.
Yeah, so not bad. Not a bad price at all if you do it like that.
But it's only moving up 6 spots. But, Matt's talking if you move back into the top 15.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that would take a first, but
it requires a lot more.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
I don't think they'd do that.
Like I said, if I could see a 9-spot jump, 36 to 25, or actually that'd be 11, but 36 to 25, something like that, then you probably need to give up a 2nd and a 3rd. I don't think it would be your first the next year, I don't think. But anyway, you guys have fun with that. Keep it coming with the 641-1010 text line set up for you where you guys can just give us your thoughts on who you think they will go with. What type of scenario could you see playing out? I've got to get back to the running back. The ukulele, please, if you don't mind, because it's really bugging me just a little bit on all the chatter. And I love Ashton Genty and what he was doing in a Broncos uniform, but my goodness, man.
Let's go!
All right, let's see if we can do this. I have all sorts of evidence backing up my argument that while Ashton Genty would be a great selection for a lot of football teams, including right here in Duval, as long as they were to follow it with a big offensive lineman with the next pick and make sure you secure that front. Give him some people to run behind. Name the last 1,000-yard rusher on a Super Bowl winning football team.
Wasn't it this year?
Besides Saquon Barkley.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
I was just going to say, what the hell are you talking about?
No, I'm just saying, because that's how we set it up earlier. Besides Saquon, name the last 1,000-yard rusher before this past season that was on a Super Bowl winning team.
It's a good one.
Was it Lenny?
Marshawn, it has to be
No,
Marshawn
Lenny didn't
Lynch.
have 1,000 yards that year.
Marshawn Lynch, Seattle. Seahawks. 20.
It's a good one.
Wow. It's not like the Ravens that year, is it? That would be
Not Jamal Lewis.
No, it's been, I hope, more recently than that.
All right, guesses, please.
No, who was their running back when they beat the 49ers on that team?
Gosh, you are going way back.
No, it was only 2012, I think, right?
No.
2011?
But
yeah, when the Harbaugh beat Harbaugh?
It was against Harbaugh. I was trying to remember that. Yeah.
Well, it's not that. Or
Ray Rice,
he
maybe.
Stumbling over it like that. So, wow. I'm going to go with, wow.
I'm going to go with my pick.
I'm going to go with Lawrence Maroney with the Patriots. I don't know. Who knows?
All right, so I'm just going to go back in order real quick, but I'll give you the answer first. You have to go back, and this is hard to believe that this guy wore more than one uniform and was in a backfield winning multiple Super Bowls. But the last guy with over 1,000 yards was the 2016 New England Patriots with LeGarrette Smoke the Blunt.
You know, I was going to guess that, but it was so long ago that I was like, there's no way.
2016. Now, you ready for this?
Wow.
Let's just go back in time real fast.
I was right with the team, just wrong player.
Again, well, but at least the guys you mentioned were right there. I'll give you the answer that you had, Matt. And, of course, Leon was locked in on Lynch, which is a very good one. But Saquon, as we said, a copycat league, you're going to try and duplicate what he did. So you go back over these last handful of years, not counting Saquon, Isaiah Pacheco, back-to-back years, Kansas City won. He had 830 yards rushing one year. He had 935 yards the other year. Before that, it was the 2021 Rams. Sony Michel, 845 yards. The Bucs, when they won, Ronald Jones outpaced Leonard Fournette, 978 yards. You go back to the Chiefs in 2019. It was Damian Flipping Williams with 498 yards. The year before that, 2018, Sony Michel again. This time he was in a Patriots uniform with 931 yards. In 2017, it was LeGarrette Blount in an Eagles uniform with 766 yards. The year before that was when he went over 1,000 with the Patriots. But it's worth pointing out, LeGarrette Blount had 1,161 yards. The average per game, Leon, 72.5 yards. That was it. Average was 72.5. The year before that was the Broncos. Ronnie Hillman, 863 yards. 2014, when the Patriots won, it was once a former Jaguar, Jonas Gray, that led the team with 412 yards.
I don't even think he finished the year on that team.
No, it's crazy. Marshawn in 13, Leon, had 1,257 yards, and that was 78.5 yards per game. It's obviously he paced that team. He should have had the game winner. We all know that in that game. The year before was Ray Rice, 1,143 yards, which is 71 yards per game. Then you go back before that, Ahmad Bradshaw for the Giants had 659 yards. Brandon Jackson with the Packers in 2010 had 703 yards. Pierre Thomas with the Saints in 2009 had 793 yards. And then Willie Parker had 791 with the Steelers.
Willie Parker. So you're saying that drafting a running back at number 5 would be dumb, right?
I gotta, there has to be so many other good pieces for you to do that. That's just how I see it. Because I just don't, there's not another receiver opposite Brian Thomas Jr. right now.
Yeah.
There's not a tight end that you know is going to succeed. There's not a real solid situation at running back. Trevor Lawrence's record last year in 10 starts was 2-8. The defense gave up 5.6 yards per play.
Right.
And we want to lock it on a running back? They were but bad on the defensive side, either at the bottom or near the bottom, in yards given up, points given up.
I think the league guitarist had something to do with that.
Yeah.
Did he not? I mean, honestly.
Yes.
I mean, he's terrible.
That defensive effort, organization, plan overall absolutely sucked.
Yeah, I mean, everybody you hear talk about last year from the defensive side, it's like completely discombobulated. It was terrible.
like even with the Jarian Jones conversation, he's saying, I want to do this. And they're rotating people in that you would have never expected to have the same number of snaps or close to the same number of snaps.
Preseason guys, yeah.
In the early parts of the ball game. Anyway, it was just a poor run side of the ball. And then obviously the offense wasn't run much better. But
by the way, whose decision was that? If
it was terrible.
Really thought about it. Whose decision was to hire him?
I still believe it was Balky's. I still believe that, but whatever. There's no way I can.
We got a hot young DC, man.
Can't prove it. Can't prove it. But that's where we are, okay? And so as much as I love that idea, I still feel like if you can get a Mason Graham, a Jalen Walker, trade back and get Jalen Walker, something like that would make some sense to me. Gather another pick high in the second round where you can go ahead and make another move with an interior offensive lineman. Get me the mullet, Tate Ratledge. Bring him here, Stat. Somebody like that with a lower pick.
I understand what you're saying, and I don't dislike it. The only thing I dislike about it is if in this spot with this franchise in this moment, the first guy you pick in the first round better be a full-time player.
Yes.
And if you're taking Jalen Walker, he's not going to be a full-time player.
But what if he is what you have right now but not getting enough out of in Devin Lloyd? And then you return Foye Oluokun to his natural.
So you're saying he's going to play off? He's an off-ball linebacker,
and then he walks up to the line of scrimmage.
I don't know that he can do that. All he's been is a rush. All he's been is a rush guy, Georgia.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, they've had him in off-ball situations, but he's not impactful.
Yeah. Well, I'm just trying to think of scenarios because they have to fix giving up 5.6 yards per play.
Yeah.
Yes, well, and I look. I'm sorry, Leon. I understand what you're saying. I see Nolan Smith too.
Mm-hmm.
I get what you're saying totally.
Yeah.
It's just that I don't think he's an off-ball guy. So if you are in an even front, where are you putting him?
I know that's what you are always wrestling with, and you know that Trayvon Walker on rushing downs, you know where he's going to be. On when you're going after the passer and it's a down and distance that's whatever 3rd and 8, and you're coming after him hard, Trayvon Walker's getting kicked inside. Coach Campo talks about it all the time. Then you bring Jalen Walker up to the line of scrimmage with Josh Hines-Allen. Then you got something.
What about Mike Green from Marshall?
Yeah. You'd have to. He's probably a guy that's
the
going
same
top
player.
15.
They're the same player.
Yeah.
They're literally the same player.
They're both really good.
And here's my thing too with Trayvon, and I understand what Dave's saying, but man, if you take a guy 1 overall, you are not moving him inside on pass rush situations. Go get the quarterback.
Well, yes, I'm talking about Trayvon that you're moving.
No,
inside.
I know that's what I'm saying. I agree.
And I know he's in his his 4th year now, but that's a versatility. Okay, Chris Jones is a versatile. There you go.
Just think of that. I was just thinking
bring
of
it
Chris
up.
Jones.
I mean, you say versatile. I say he doesn't pass the rusher rush the passer so well. I mean, do you think the Lions are going to do? All right, well, let's see. It's 3rd down. Let's move our boy inside.
Yeah, but when you have the ability, depends on the down and distance. It really does. Lightning packages work against slower
Of course
guards.
they do. Of course they do.
Yeah.
They're in rare situations in the game.
Yeah. So Jalen Walker.
When Jacksonville, we called him a rover. Brackens was a rover, which means that he was outside most of the time, but he would also roam and see. He would find the weakest link, and he would find him and go.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all. Yeah. But it's just I don't want to be in a situation. This is what it sounds like you're saying, Joe. Is on 3rd down pass rush situations, Trayvon's going inside.
Yeah,
and I just think he's. You got to do whatever you got to do. If it's coaching, if it's him spending more work in the offseason, he's got to become an elite pass rusher. He has
Agreed. I just feel like I may be buying into this just based on how we're trying to set it up and visualize, but I do think that Trayvon Walker is strong like an ox and can out-quick and out-maneuver interior linemen on that down, just on that down. And then he can have some success. All right, real quick. Jalen Walker, a career last year, 29 pressures, 6.5 sacks, but he also played a lot of snaps at inside linebacker as well as outside linebacker. So Georgia does this all the time. They move their best players around all over the place. Nolan Smith being another great example of that. But anyway, kick it around. Let us know what you guys are thinking. We'll keep it going.
Nolan was very similar. Yeah. Nolan Smith, when he played off linebacker, he wasn't impactful. Yeah. When he was on the edge at Georgia, he was ridiculous.
Yeah, 300-plus snaps at outside linebacker for Jalen. So, all right, you guys let us know. 641-1010. Hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. It's XL Primetime.
He's a recent play-by-play has been on the radio for more than 100 years.
There's a drive. Way back. It might be. It could be. And
Your home for live play-by-play is 1010XL.
Hey guys, it's that time of year again. The home team is looking for new players on the field, and you're looking to get that old car or truck out of your driveway. I can help. This is John Johnson over at First Coast Recycling. We buy junk cars. Draft us to buy your old car or truck for fast cash. Just call 904-294-1659 for a quick and easy quote from First Coast Recyclers. Come on, let's take your driveway back.
When it comes to your utility bill, JEA wants to help you use less so you can save more. We offer a variety of free programs, like efficiency and irrigation assessments that'll teach you ways to conserve energy and water around your home. Our alerts will let you know when your utility usage has reached a set amount, and our rebates can help you save when upgrading to more efficient appliances and equipment. Find even more ways to save at JEA.com.
Florida Home AC wants to make sure you're super cool when things heat up and toasty warm when the temps drop. Indoor comfort for you all year long is what they're going for. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com to score great deals on an AC tune-up and keep the temperature perfect.
At Hurricane Grill and Wings, every day feels like the weekend. Fresh, never frozen chicken wings, tossed in over 30 bold flavors, paired with ice-cold beer and handcrafted cocktails, all in a laid-back, beachy atmosphere. And with every game on the big screens, it's the ultimate escape, and you're home for sports, too. Great food, cold drinks, and all the games. That's Hurricane Grill and Wings. Escape the ordinary and find your spot at hurricanewings.com.
Let AA Automotive and 1010XL guide you through the off-season. Who are Jacksonville's top prospects?
I know these players.
Listen for draft previews brought to you by Big Brothers Big Sisters of Northeast Florida and Hurricane Grill and Wings.
David Lane here, and once again, I'm happy to share news of my success with back and knee surgeries at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist. Whatever it is that's bothering you, take it from me. Simply set an appointment today at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist and let them help you get back to normal life. I'm certainly glad I did.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes here with a challenge. A challenge might not be the best choice in words, so let's say an opportunity. Take the opportunity to lose 40 by the 4th with a Awaken 180. It sounds a little different when you put a real goal to it, doesn't it? Maybe you looked at the scale this morning and it read 230 pounds. How about it reading 190 by the 4th? Maybe the scale says 300. Wouldn't the number 260 be a little nicer on your eyes and on your joints? It's attainable if you have the same results we all had with Awaken 180. I dropped 40 pounds in 9 weeks. Hacker dropped his first 40 in just 6 weeks. Dempsey, Blue, and everyone else I know, same results. And we've kept it off. The best thing about Awaken 180 weight loss, it will completely change the way you think, see, and feel about food. The results are real, attainable, and the process simple with Awaken 180. Take the opportunity and drop 40 by the 4th. It all starts with just one call to Awaken 180 weight loss. Call 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative, here to share with you an actual client review.
Dude, these shirts are sick.
Check out the shirts and other sick promo items at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
What NFL stadium has been used the longest by an NFL team?
Filing an insurance claim following a storm shouldn't be an ordeal. Southern Oak Insurance's claim team prepares for catastrophic situations well in advance. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Green Bay's Lambeau Field has been used by the Packers since 1957, a span of over 60 years.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
It's here. Beard's Diamond's first ever massive sale on all diamond stud earrings and all tennis bracelets. Now through Sunday at 4 p.m. Save 20%, 30%, even 40%. Beautiful diamond stud earrings and gorgeous diamond tennis bracelets. Perfect for any occasion. Take advantage of huge markdowns. Best prices ever. Corporate-owned big box stores could never offer this extreme value, but locally owned Beards can. And it's happening now through Sunday. Up to 40% off. Beards Diamond, St. John's Town Center. Shop local. Shop Beards.
I'm Liz Gruby, the Jacksonville Business Journal's events director, and on May 15th, we're shining a spotlight on young professionals who are boldly leading the way in business and making our major impact in our community. I'd love for you to join us for our 40 Under 40 Awards as we celebrate these up-and-comers and their achievements. Don't miss this inspiring afternoon of networking and celebration. Tickets are going fast. You have to get them before May 6th. And for more information and tickets, visit jbjevents.com.
Mia here, and I'm just going to cut to the chase. What you really want to know is, why buy from Arlington Toyota? How about over 800 vehicles, one lot, 60-day exchange, and friendly credit for everyone? Plus, right now, get $0 down and just $288 per month for a pre-owned 2022 Toyota Corolla. Or how about no payments till August 2025? Shop in person on Atlantic Boulevard, just a quarter mile east of 295, or online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, brought to you by the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. Last night, the Orlando Magic fell again to the defending NBA champion Boston Celtics 109-100. Paolo Banchero had his second straight 30-plus point night as he dropped 32 along with 9 boards and 7 assists. Franz Wagner had another good night as well with his 25 points, but the team will desperately need to find production from other players if they want any chance in the series. They return home to the Kia Center for Game 3 Friday night at 7 in dire need of a win to make the series competitive. Todd Golden strikes again in the portal, this time adding Ohio Bobcats guard A.J. Brown. Brown, whose younger brother Isaiah is a redshirt junior for the Gators, averaged 13.2 points per game for the Bobcats last season. Brown joins Princeton transfer Xavion Lee in the backcourt for next year's Gators guards. It's 81 degrees at 3:05. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
3 o'clock hours here. You're getting closer and closer. Bush Drive Rich sent me a countdown tracker for the draft when it starts, and we are inside of 5 hours. We are all fired up and ready to go. We will have special programming. That is going to be such a glorious sound. Will it be with the Jaguars selecting in that 5th spot? Will they move up? Will they move back? Well, you got all sorts of things to look forward to, and all the festivities down there at the Lemon Bar, along with, as our day goes along, we're going to be holed up at the Lemon Bar, and then also the draft show will take place beginning at 7 o'clock down at Everbank at the Mecca, and that will go from 7 o'clock on. You're going to have Rick Ballou, Hayes Carline, Ryan the Hacker Green hanging out in studio from 4 to 7.
You're talking dirty to me, and I kind of like it.
That's right. A 3-hour gig for that, a 3-hour tour for those 3 guys. But first, let's say hello to Taylor Dahl, who is holed up at a place, I believe. Did you have to put in like Waze app or whatever to find this place?
I think I've been here a time or two, Joe. If people know me, Lemon Bar is very much Taylor Dahl's vibe.
Okay, all right. So you are ready to go. You are set up.
Yeah.
If you go to YouTube, you can look on YouTube and see both of our streams that are cranking out right now. So set it up for us, Taylor. How is it going down there?
Yeah, it's fantastic. Honestly, it's starting to pick up, Joe. There's because right now, if you are coming, which you can come hang out now. We've been saying this. I know you heard Dan earlier, but if you come through the main entrance of Lemon Bar, you can still get in that way. Plenty of tables right now open, but it is starting to fill up a little bit on that side. So, but it's beautiful. I mean, I was looking when we were talking to Brian Sexton earlier. I was like, we're going to be sitting at the beach on an 80-degree sunny day in Jacksonville Beach, and they're up in Wisconsin. So.
Yeah.
Very cool. TD, what's the have you talked to people around there, and what's the vibe about who they'd like to see selected?
It's funny because I think that everybody is kind of in the same page of it's so back and forth. And that's what I've had multiple people ask me what I think. And I was like, if you would have asked me 2 hours ago, I'd probably have a different answer than what I have now. And that's just kind of how this week has been. And everybody kind of shares a similar sentiment. But I will tell you that the majority of people that I have chatted with are full on the Ashton Genty train right now at this point, and just staying at 5 and selecting him. That has been the majority of what I've heard.
Joe's not happy about that, by the way.
It's not.
I'm fighting it. I'm just fighting it for some reason.
Taylor, how would you feel if we just go guard at 5, all right? Just take Moonberg and call it a day.
Look, I've said this several times on Helmets and Heels, Leon, and I've talked to you, I've talked to Matt Hayes. I don't like this offensive line still. I don't think that anybody that's in the interior is any better than what they had last year, and to me that's a problem. So I know people get upset about that because drafting a guard that high is probably not what you really like to see, but I'm tired of having, at the end of seasons, making excuses for Trevor, and some of them have been reasons and some of them have been excuses, I think, but you're heading into year 5 of is your franchise quarterback, and I think that you need some more answers. By the end, this time next year, we can't be saying, oh, well, if the offensive line played better, or if we could run the ball, or if the defense didn't let people score, or if there wasn't injuries, like, we've got to figure out at some point where Trevor Lawrence sits on this tier of quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yeah, and they need so many things, and I think that's where, if you are James Gladstone, you are Liam Cohen, you're sitting down going, okay, our wish list, we can't just write one name down. We have to write several down. And so I do think it's really important. Do you think they trade back in tonight? What is your gut on that?
Yeah, and I don't know. I feel like if you look at the history of James Gladstone and what the Rams have done, the Rams have been very aggressive. And we've talked to Jordan Rodriguez out there, who's covered that team very closely in the draft process, and James Gladstone and Snead in general. And they've she shared that sentiment of they've never been scared. We know that. They make a quarterback trade, sending Jared Goff off and getting Matthew Stafford, and they take away all the picks. They give away all their picks for a few years. They've traded up in drastic moves to get the players they want. And so I feel like I wouldn't be shocked from anything with James Gladstone. My biggest thing is how much of this first draft are we going to see of a full-on James Gladstone draft? Because the guy got here a week before the NFL Combine, and yeah, he was already evaluating players because that was still part of his job where he was previously, but he wasn't as in the trenches at Jacksonville and their needs. So we saw that report that I think you guys talked about too, Todd McShay talking about, Liam Cohen kind of putting his foot down a little bit and saying, you've brought me here to fix Trevor and help Trevor, and at some point we got to start doing that. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe James lets Liam Cohen have his way a little bit this year.
Now, Taylor, last year Gladstone took a couple of teammates in Verse and Frisk. I mean, if he took Graham and Grant, how would you feel with that?
I love both of those players. They are, after last year on Helmets and Heels, we made a list of our top 5 players that we are looking forward to watching in this next season, and Kenneth Grant and Mason Graham were both on my list, and I think they both are just they're game changers on that line, and I think at some point you have to do that. And I went on a little monologue at the end of Helmets and Heels today about how important a defensive tackle can be, especially one that just knows how to wreak havoc in the backfield and help those linebackers take a little bit of pressure off of the secondary that we saw struggle a lot this last season because they were having to cover people for 6-7 seconds. That shouldn't have to happen. Getting that interior pass rush, I think, helps that a lot. And then a guy like Kenneth Grant too, who maybe isn't as polished, but I think with the development of Campanile and kind of his strengths of what he's been able to do up there in Green Bay, I do think that those two guys would instantly impact this defense. Now, do I love that in the sense of now we're getting an offensive lineman a little bit later? I still think you could get one of those good running backs and a wide receiver if you wanted to, and luckily with 2/3 it does help with that. But it will be interesting, but I personally still want to see a couple offensive linemen, ideally at least one, a couple defensive linemen at least one.
All right, I know you'll be having fun down there. Everyone start heading to the Lemon Bar. Definitely drop in, check out the 1010XL setup, and we will talk to you in a little bit.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, there's that excitement that's building down there, and I'm sure with every Jaguar fan out there. So we'll get back to some of the possibilities. I got some odds for what could happen tonight, including how many SEC players will be taken, quarterbacks over under. We'll do all that coming up on XL Primetime.
Painting the town teal and black. The Bold City's radio home of the Jaguars. 1010XL.
MOV, ING, Southside Kia is moving. Our moving sale is on right now. Help us clear new Kias out. Our current selection's got 200 plus Kias on the lot. Hurry to save big with us. New rides starting at just $20,000 bucks. Plus, bring your tax refund today. We'll double it up to $5K. MOV, ING, get to Southside Kia this spring. Online at SouthsideKiaJax.com. Get your next ride at Southside. For complete details, call 904-325-9208.
Feeling the Florida heat? Make sure your car's AC is ready with help from Big Chief Tire. Frank Frangie here. Right now, get $50 off all AC services at any of their 5 Jacksonville locations. Whether it's a quick recharge or a full repair, their expert technicians will keep you cool and comfortable on the road. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule your AC service today and take advantage of this limited one-time offer. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling.
Get a healthy start in 2025. The Florida Department of Health in Duval County is here to encourage you to get healthy and stay healthy this year. They have a dedicated team who are committed to providing quality care. The goal is to protect, promote, and improve the health of you and your family. Visit duval.floridahealth.gov to learn more about their health programs and services. That's duval.floridahealth.gov.
1010XL's draft previews are brought to you by Big Brothers Big Sisters of Northeast Florida. Be a Big.
Travis Hunter is an exciting two-way player whose world-class athleticism and ball skills help him shine on both sides of the field. Hunter is an instinctive, natural football player with a feel for making the biggest plays at the biggest times. Jacksonville would need to make a decision on where and how to play Hunter if they drafted him with the 5th pick, but he's capable of making a good number of winning plays as a future star, no matter the choice.
Interested in a unique date night? Gibby here. I took my wife Nikki to Wick a Candle Bar. She made her own custom candle right there in the store. Shop local at Wick a Candle Bar. Locations in San Marco and Jacks Beach.
Who are these new names and how can they help?
Tell me his name again.
Listen for 1010XL draft profiles fired up by Wicca Candle Bar and River City Screens. Roll through the offseason with AA Automotive and 1010XL.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
Hey Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold and silver and diamonds from the public. Gold has recently hit an all-time high at almost $3,000 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold for cash and get top dollar or trade it in for a new piece and get even more value at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Free Comic Book Day. Hey, I'm Ben Kay, owner of Gotham City Limit, your local comic shop, inviting you to the Community Party of the Year, Saturday, May 3rd. Free comics, free food, huge discounts, and more. Let's take Free Comic Book Day to the limit. Gotham City Limit.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
What you want? One bourbon, one scotch, one beer.
Take us back to your draft day. What do you remember from the day that you were drafted?
Donna, I don't remember too much. I had 41 Coors Lights, so I couldn't tell you.
You remember 41?
Yeah, I remember 41.
You remember 41, but you don't remember what happened.
Don't remember.
Did you get a phone call? You had your family around you?
I had my drinking buddies with me.
This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
41, that's a lot of high fructose, okay? That's a lot of that, man. You might need that many to catch a buzz with that, but LT, that's who that was. Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah, but if he had 41, how many cases did they have?
Talking about his draft night. Oh, yeah, you're right. He said he was around with his drinking buddies.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, what were they drinking? I'm sure they weren't, having just a couple.
He was approaching 2 cases at that point.
But like Joe said, 41 of those beers is like 20 real beers.
Exactly. Exactly.
And I can believe the story, too, because I was at the golf tournament that he threw in his neighborhood.
Yeah.
In the clubhouse. The back of the clubhouse is called the LT zone. And the LT zone is, you can only imagine what's at the back.
Oh, I can just
imagine. A lot
imagine.
of scotch and a lot of cigars.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. And it's so funny because it's so much more formal now. But back then, when you were coming up, when he was coming up, that it was a crazy blow it out spin. And there's still going to be plenty of guys that do that tonight. But there's
maybe not 41.
Yeah. and these guys they're wired a little more professionally with representation now as opposed to maybe back then. All right. So on that, in honor of LT, on that note, we have to have at least a couple drinking like guzzle games tonight.
Yeah, I love a nice drinking game, and the draft is a perfect opportunity for that.
So if you're watching the draft tonight, at least hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosure, 641-1010. Give us some one or two that you either have gone to, like maybe would like to do tonight, because Mel Kiper, I'm telling you, he said in his entire time that he's been working the draft, he never goes to the bathroom during the first round. And he feels like the streak might be broken tonight. And so,
is he having health issues or something?
I don't know.
He
might. Sometimes when you take a little extra medicine, JJ, you get a little older. It happens.
I know that game, bro. I got to go all the time. I'm only 35.
It actually happens. But I was stunned when he said it, and he got so irritated over the suggestion of it because he goes, hey, as soon as you come back, you have no idea what just happened. Something just went down, and I have to look at my phone. I got to look at my nose. And he just kind of started getting irritated. He goes, but yeah, at some point it's going to happen. He thinks it might happen in Green Bay.
Chris Hansen has to be looking at him like, dude, that's nothing.
You're so
one weak. First round. I do this for like 8 hours every Sunday.
Exactly. But
I got a couple.
All right.
So like, how about anytime Mel Kiper says this guy, or is that his thing, or maybe I'm mixing him up with somebody else? But like, anytime they decide to talk about a prospect's father or
high
brother
ceiling.
or someone who's like locked up or just died, which ESPN loves to do that.
Oh, they will do that.
And I just heard that what's his name, cornerback / wide receiver, his dad is going to be in attendance. They let him off of work release or something like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So like, ESPN's going to eat that up.
Oh, they will.
Yeah, you can't, by the way, you can't do high ceiling. You can't
high
do high
ceiling,
motor.
You will be smashed by the time
you'll
be rocked by like the third or fourth pick.
Or how about every time there's a commercial break before the Jags pick?
Yeah, that's going to hurt
you
if it
have to
happens.
drink.
Because you figure it's going to be around 8:45. They're probably going to go wall to wall for the first 45 minutes. and then they might just
sneak one in.
Not the NFL Network, because Charlie Ukes
won't do it.
producing it, man. He's already told us many times they'll never do it again.
So we'll see whether that happens or not. All right, so here are some numbers for you guys, all right? And we got a bunch of attendees that'll be there. I think they said 17. Odds for who will be the last draft attendee selected. And the lowest odds right now, as far as you're not going to get a whole lot back for your bet, plus 200 is Tyler Booker. So they think he's going to be the guy sitting there the longest.
That would be a great
in the first 2 days.
Game.
Yeah, well, it just says last draft attendee selected. So if he makes it into the second round, I'm all about it. Jacksonville jump in there and get him.
How about drink every time they show Shador Sanders?
Okay, there you go.
In the green room waiting.
Where's Jalen Milroe, by the way?
I'll run it through, but I'm telling you, the Shador drinking game is real. Okay,
is Shador attending? Because initially,
is he not?
No, they'll show. They'll have to have a satellite shot of him,
right at the house or something.
Yeah. So I do believe they will show that, and so that's a good one. That's a very good one because you'll just see the changing faces and changing emotions with him. So every time they go to a shot of the Sanders house or Primetime, yeah, you might have to chug on that one.
Will Dion be wearing shades in his own home at night? Okay.
Yes. Of course, Prime's with shades.
And so they have a few as far as crying and whatnot, especially with like Cam Ward. Who will he hug first? Mom, dad, girlfriend, brother, or sister?
Better hug his mama.
You better. And then let's see here as far as
some texter had a great one. If they pick a running back at 5, I'll drink for y'all.
All right.
What player is going to look pissed off that he got picked by that team?
Oh,
yeah. That's a good one.
Who's going to pull the
C.J. Henderson?
Yeah, exactly. So right now, Shador is minus 285 to be the first quarterback drafted. Jackson Dart plus 240. Jalen Milroe plus 750. We all know Cam Ward's going first, so that really isn't a great one. But the guys that could be left in the green room waiting, Tyler Booker plus 200. Then you have a few others. Josh Simmons plus 300. Shamar Stewart plus 400. You asked for Jalen Milroe. He's plus 500. Tet McMillan is plus 1,200. Kind of doubt someone's going to take him in the first 12 picks.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
I like Milroe's odds in this one.
Yeah.
5-1.
Yeah. That's not bad. All right. So we mentioned some of the quarterback numbers right now, but also how about draft day trades? How many guys do you think or teams will step in and make a trade? Like, well, Jacksonville. The over-under right now is 4.5 trades. You think we'll see more than 4.5 or less?
I'm going to go under. I'll take the under on
I'm
that.
taking the under on that,
Yeah?
definitely.
Will there be a trade in the top 10?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I kind of agree with you guys. It's minus 150, so they agree as well.
Okay.
We mentioned the conferences, and there was almost a bet between Leon and Matt as far as the number.
Well, he welched on the bet, man.
Yeah,
Well, trying anything, bro. You tried to slip one under the tent.
I ain't trying to slip anything. You said I'll take SEC.
I said I'll take the
and
SEC.
you can have the field. And I said,
not
okay.
combined, bro.
Well, well, you
All right,
gotta
so
be
I'll set it up for you too. All right.
Well, like when someone says in the NCAA tournament, I'll take Duke and you can have the field.
That means I got
That's
all
everybody.
that.
Everybody
It
else.
doesn't mean combined.
Yes, it
Yes, it
does.
does.
Yeah, it's everybody.
It literally means everybody else.
It's everyone.
It's everyone.
Individually combined.
No.
No.
All right. So here we go. SEC players. Total SEC players drafted in round 1. Just throw a number at me. As far as
11.5.
Ooh, I'll take that all day.
Over or under?
Under.
Are you asking what we think it's going to
Under.
What we
number?
think the line is.
What's the line?
What do you think the line is?
That's a good line, JJ. I'm going to say
I'm good at this.
That's a great line, actually. I'm going to say 10.5.
What did you go, JJ?
11.5.
Okay, I'm actually shocked by this number. This seems way high because this is almost half of the first round.
Wow.
14.5.
Wow.
It seems high. It really
does.
And
Someone
then
on the text line said for our drinking game, take a shot or chug a beer for every SEC player drafted. And if that's the case,
you're going to be
whoa.
messed up by the end of the
there you go.
Yeah.
14.5.
SEC has been down the last couple of years, bro.
And make it a cold Bud Light since they are presenting the NFL draft.
Don't throw your 3 losses in the last 4 games on us, okay?
Hey, listen, all I know is the ACC will be at the top. How about that?
Okay, so you got SEC 14.
How about that?
You got SEC 14.5, Big Ten 9.5. And you're hoping, or at least some of you are hoping, that includes Mason Graham as one of the top players. The ACC over under.
A 3.
Well, they at least have to have one.
3.5.
I'm going to say.
Leon's got it right there.
Wow.
So the Big Ten's got to be like 7.5.
He said it, 9.5.
Yeah, 9.5 for Big Ten. Yeah. Big 12 is 3.5, just like the ACC.
They might go under.
Yeah, they might.
You got Cam.
Big Ten's gonna depend on Ibuka.
And Ibuka could come in at the end of the first round 100%.
Yeah.
But you're and I don't think Kenneth Grant will. But when you're talking about 9.5 guys,
that's a high number.
That is a pretty high number. You start going down the line of the draft board, and I'll just look at one of the ones that we were having fun with earlier. Some of the top guys that are being looked at, and honestly, you start going down the line. Colson Loveland is another Michigan
two
player.
From Penn State, one from Michigan, or two from Michigan. Although Will Johnson, now he might have a knee.
Right, he might go up and down a little bit. But you have a ton from the SEC. I'm just looking at some of the draft prospects that I had earmarked, and you can honestly, there's so many good ones that will come out of the SEC that you got to keep your eye on. Mason Taylor, where will he go? Will he go at the end of the first round, early second round? Trey Amos, you guys know that I've been digging that cornerback for a while. Hopefully he will go maybe high second round, and he could be around for the Jaguars. But you got plenty from the SEC that will make up that 14.5. Let's see here. Who will be traded first during the NFL draft? Jair Alexander's being mentioned a bunch. I don't know whether he will get dealt. They mentioned a few other ones. Kirk Cousins, of course. Mark Andrews.
Etienne in there?
I was just about to say
Travis Etienne.
I don't see if I'm just looking to see. I don't see odds.
By the way,
Jalen plus 600.
How quickly does Travis Etienne or his mom, if they pick Genty, how quickly do they tweet out? One of those two tweets out that time for us to go or time to go, something like that.
Yeah, because wasn't it Trevor Etienne that said that he needed to get up and get out of there when things were going south a couple of seasons ago with the Gators? Did Mom
was part of it too.
I think she was.
Yeah, by the way, Trevor Etienne he's projected like 7th round or undrafted free agent.
Yeah, that's something else. I guess I'm not really shocked. He wasn't 100% healthy this year, and they really couldn't count on him. He can run.
When he's healthy, he's pretty good.
But he's just not that big of a cat. Travis took a lot of punishment and put a lot of totes on the stat sheet for Clemson in his years. And Trevor never really did it this year for Georgia. What was his total number of carries? I bet it was around 100, if not less.
Probably a little more than that, I think.
A little more?
Yeah.
A little more? Not much more. All right.
I got it. One last great drinking game thing that's very apropos for this show, because we heard Leon's the Mel Kiper breakdown of Leon being drafted. Drink whenever you hear the phrase, quote, kick him inside to guard.
I do love that.
I called you a guard 4 times.
4 times.
At least.
Oh. You know he was messing with my money when he was saying that.
Yeah,
No tackles get paid more. Mess with my money, bro.
All right, 4.5 is one of our texters' choice as far as trades in the first round. Over is their bet, because he thinks there's going to be a couple teams coming back in the first round, which could include Jacksonville. So let's just wrap it up with some of those thoughts coming up in our next seg. And don't forget, you've got the mashup with Hayes Carline, Rick Ballou, Ryan the Hacker Green, all three of them from all the shows that you listen to from 4 o'clock on into the night. And then after dark, they will all be part of your next 3 hours beginning at 4. And then the draft show will begin at 7. All sorts of things happening on our YouTube stream as well, with live analysis once the draft gets rolling. All part of your night. Just keep it locked right here on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
The station that's always longest off the tee is 1010XL.
You got a beautiful bachelor. He got all of that one.
Jacksonville's Sports Radio.
Hello, Jacksonville. This is John Johnson with First Coast Recycling. We buy junk cars. If you have a car or a truck that you're looking to get rid of, then look no further. If you absolutely, positively have to get that car out of there, accept no substitutes. Fast cash is at your fingertips. Just call First Coast Recycling at 904-294-1659 today for a quick and easy quote. Come on, let's take your driveway back.
Mike Dempsey here. Look, it's been 10 years that I've been vouching for my guys at Dandy Foods, and for a decade, I'm proud of my association with a local family business. They make a great product. I've made no secret that I was a customer long before Dandy ever came on board on 1010XL. But I'm thinking I'm due a little Dandy swag, maybe a little love. How about a Dandy t-shirt, a ball cap? So how about it, Thompson family? What do you got going on over there? In the meantime, I'm going to keep eating those delicious tuna salad sandwiches. So guys, keep helping me out and grab a Dandy sandwich today.
Tired of a plain and boring backyard? Stonecore on Phillips Highway is your one-stop choice to beautify your home. With pavers, stonework, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces, pergolas, and driveways. Visit stonecore.co. We do outdoors better.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On April 24, 2004, at the NFL Draft, the San Diego Chargers selected Ole Miss quarterback Eli Manning as the first overall pick. He was later traded to the New York Giants.
The Sawgrass Marriott Golf Resort and Spa is the perfect place for indulging in a pampering spa treatment. This Mother's Day season, give the gift of wellness with a gift card and take advantage of the spa's current promotion. Buy a $75 gift card or more and guests get a credit towards a future service. With healing massages, revitalizing facial treatments, and more, a day at the Sawgrass Spa makes a perfect gift for everyone. Purchase in person at Sawgrass Spa during operating hours.
It's tune-up time, and Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars, wants to partner with you for a cool summer season. Tune up your AC unit right now so it's running at peak performance when you need it most. Just call 777-4300 and order a tune-up for just $59. Keep your unit humming at optimal level. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com and take advantage of their savings. Keep cool with Florida Home AC. That's 777-4300.
Need protection? Call Craig and Christine Kaprosky at Goosehead Insurance. The Kaproskys are a husband-wife team committed to finding you the right coverage at the right price in just a few short minutes. For home, auto, flood, or specialty insurance, Craig and Christine Kaprosky are the answer. Craig.Kaprosky at Goosehead.com.
Warm weather means the beach, fishing, golf, and more. Make sure to drop into Daly's and grab a cold case to go. From Bud Light to their seltzer, from Mick Ultra to Modelo, or your favorite crafts like Old City or Sweetwater. Grab and go at your local Daly's.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. If you're going to buy an engagement ring, how much should you spend?
Frank, that's a question we hear a lot, and the guideline most often used is the equivalent of 2 months' salary. But I'll say this. The price you pay for a diamond is directly related to its beauty. If you want a big, cheap diamond, I'll guarantee you it's poor quality, and that's not what we carry at Underwoods. If you want a diamond of fine quality, cut to the right specifications for maximum beauty, not maximum weight, that's the kind of diamond we have at Underwoods. You see, when somebody's been married for a long time, they don't always remember what they paid for their engagement ring. They probably remember the sacrifice they made to pay for it. And when you consider that a diamond engagement ring will be worn every day for the rest of her life, most people will agree that a really fine quality diamond ought to be considered. That's what we specialize in at Underwoods and have since 1928.
That's Underwoods in San Marco, in Avondale, the Shops of Ponte Vedra, Underwood Jewelers.
The housing market is as busy as ever on the First Coast. And if you've moved in or moved on, make sure you have a team of trained electricians ready to help. American Electrical can make sure you're up to date electrically and maximize your living experience. Smart home automation services, home theater systems, outdoor and dock lighting, and backup generators. American Electrical can do it all. A team you can trust with highly trained technicians ensuring you have the best living experience. American-Electrical.com, a leader on the First Coast and powered by professionalism.
Frank Frangie here. I was talking to a buddy the other day. His HOA told him his old fence had to go. I said, man, call Coil Fencing. They've been around the block since 1927. Heck, they probably built half the fences in Jacksonville. They do it all. Tough chain link for security. Those fancy aluminum ones the HOA actually likes. Nearly a century of keeping yards safe and looking good. If you need a fence, call Coil. You can trust the folks at Coil. 904-356-4821 or visit CoilJacks.com, COYLE, Jacks.com.
No matter what the reason, sending a floral arrangement from Kuhn Flowers always works. For unique and special gifts,
Visit their showroom on Beach Boulevard. Dylan Denmark here with 1010XL. Kuhn Flowers is my go-to and should be yours. Online at KuhnFlowers.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
All right, my takeaway is, Ashton Genty. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, bringing him in to help our O-line look better. Won't you just make your O-line be better by just drafting one or two? Because it's not going to do it. It's not going to help us any if you have this amazing back and he can't get to the line of scrimmage. So won't you just build from the inside out like you told us in the presser? Don't pillow talk me and then talk about building it inside out and then you go out there and you get a running back and the fifth pick overall. Don't tease me.
You back to big now, aren't you?
I'm back to big. Yeah, you had me over the
That's
duck.
typically what happens in the draft. You go up and down and up and down and up and down, and then eventually, when you get to the day, you always go back to mama.
You got to go back.
Always. It's always the big man. I mean, again, I said this earlier this week, and I truly believe this. I don't think they can go wrong with that first pick, where they are. If they just pick at 5, I don't think they can go wrong with whoever they pick. Now, that being said, there's a lot of different things that could happen. They could trade back. They could trade too far back and miss any player they initially wanted and then have to settle for someone else. So there's a lot that could go on. It's why the draft is what it is.
Yeah.
It's a crapshoot. But if you stick at 5, I'll be put this way. I definitely want big. I want big this draft to focus on big bodies.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think I would be upset if they took Genty.
Mm-hmm. I'm just going to get back.
Or traded back to like 10 and got Ted. I think I'd be all right with either one of them.
All right, so I'll just give you this, and I appreciate one of our primetime texters sending it our way. And this is from Matthew Betts and at The Fantasy PT. He does look like he could be Harry Potter / James Gladstone's brother. Youngster looking fellow. But he's got a bunch of followers, and he's a fantasy guy. And our texter shot it to me. Ashton Genty, odds to be the 5th pick, minus 220. So that means a lot of people think that he's going to fall into that slot. Team to draft Genty, the Bears, minus 145. So he has the Bears as the favorite. After that, you have the New England Patriots trading back 1, which is plus 1,200. Jacksonville, if they stay there, plus 110. So that's basically an even bet. The Las Vegas Raiders, plus 440. The Denver Broncos, a little bit of a long shot, plus 2,900. We had Ed McCaffrey on the other day because they're picking 20th. He said that's a lot to give up, so he didn't think it would happen. And then the Dallas Cowboys, plus 4,300. I don't think that one's impossible. That's 12-5. And the Dallas Cowboys may not be a bad bet. Jerry loves that type of guy. They still don't have their line fixed, but they did not have a run game last year to help anybody under center. Of course, Dak didn't last the whole season. But
Need to go guard. Zach Martin just retired.
Yeah.
No one likes guard. I keep saying it. It's the catchphrase.
No one likes guards. They're just but I do think
until you need them.
Yeah. But I do think that there's obviously some sentiment out there that someone may jump in to that 5th spot. Jacksonville step out. And here's the other part of this. At least I'm going to play you're trying to figure out what is real and what is a smoke screen, who's telling the truth, who's BSing, all this type of stuff right now. What if it got out that Jacksonville was trying to move up, which is what basically happened in the last 24 hours, that they are going to be aggressive and they might be willing to move up, and people are thinking that they're going to move up and they're still going to make a play for either a Genty or a Travis Hunter, that they might be willing to go and get a guy like that higher in the draft, maybe even talk with Cleveland and jump as high as 2. I do think it's crazy, but just imagine if they're putting this chatter out there right now to make sure someone else comes in with interest and make sure that they don't lose out. And it might be trying to attract someone into their 5th spot. It's possible. It's possible.
Sure it is.
And so I just feel like there's some smoke screens that are being put out there right now to make the teams behind them go, man, what do I need to do? If they're talking about jumping up to 2, who's going to be left? Who's going to be there? Vegas is definitely wanting to look at that running back. I do mention Dallas because I think it's real. We mentioned Denver the other day with McCaffrey. And there's a handful of them. The New Orleans Saints with the quarterback position being wide open with Derek Carr being hurt. That's another one that.
Well, the top 5 teams, do you blame them? They're the one that got the most needs.
Yeah.
So they need the more capital.
Yeah.
I mean, so why not entice the teams behind you to move up to say, yeah, absolutely. All these teams in the top 5 have got more holes to fill.
Yeah.
So if Jacksonville can move and maneuver and get more capital, man, we've got more than the running back. Listen, we got essentially things a lot more prevalent than the running back position.
Well, all right. I'm going to follow that, and I'm going to come back with what we were just saying a minute ago. Getting back to center, we have not talked about Mason Graham at 5 on the show today, basically at all. We've mentioned all the other possibilities. And when it's all said and done, what has this team done in the offseason? And has it addressed the interior defensive line?
Negative.
Yeah, exactly. They haven't done anything.
Maybe they think they have. That's kind of the point.
But what have they done? What have they done in this offseason for that?
They can't think that.
They can't.
They got Macari.
No, you're not listening, okay? You're not listening. It's the interior of the defensive line, okay? They have not done anything to address that area. And so that's why I said Mason Graham. What we haven't mentioned today is him, and it's going to come right back to him. They have signed offensive linemen. They've signed secondary players. They've signed receivers.
I'm just telling you, they think they've got Armstead. He's moving inside.
Well, yeah.
They think they like Devon Hamilton.
Yeah.
They think Mason Smith's going to be a guy that they can trust.
I think it screams Mason Graham. It really does. If they stay there, I just feel like they're trying to send smoke signals out that someone wants to jump in there and grab Genty, and then they will step back, maybe get an extra pick here or there.
Well, that's the second part of Todd McShay's.
Still get Mason Graham.
That's the second part of Todd McShay's thought process, or his sources told him, is that if you don't take Genty, then you move back and you take Ted McMillan.
Yeah,
but you move back to a spot where you believe you can still get him.
Right, but
there's danger in that.
Yeah.
They move back and he's not. Somebody else takes him. Then
exactly.
what?
That's why I'm still at least in the camp that they can get Mason Graham if they move back 1 or 2 spots, because if someone jumps to get Genty, which is highly possible, and then after that let's just keep Ted McMillan in this conversation. You still have a handful of other guys that are right there. New Orleans needing to maybe grab a quarterback. That type of scenario could take place. I'm looking at some of the other guys that could be right there at the top that people would love to get their mitts on, even though they're further down in the draft. I don't know. Mason Graham could go anywhere from 5 to 10 or 11, probably.
Yeah, maybe too high at 5, maybe give him at 7 or 8, and then you get another second rounder.
Yeah.
Then you use those 2 second rounders to maybe get back in and get a late first rounder.
Right. If you are able to acquire something like that, and I don't know that you'll be able to get that, but you're just going to move back. You're probably going to get someone second, but then you could package a couple of seconds to jump back in to the first round. You could do something like that.
I understand what you're saying. The defense is terrible. I get it. But you are making your bones with 16. The first pick has got to be offense.
Well,
whether it's receiver, running back, offensive line.
Yeah, see, I fight that because I just keep saying, like, we let off the show with Dan Hicken, and you got to score more points. I totally agree. But when this team's giving up 5.6 yards per play, they never even see a third down. It's first down, second down, first down, second down. And that's got to stop. And I know that that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but that has to stop. And they've got to keep people out of their end zone as much as they need to score and get in the end zone. Both of those have to happen. JJ, let's give away a prize before we say hello to the mashup that is the afternoon show coming.
Let's do it. I have a pair of voucher tickets to the Jumbo Shrimp, so these can be used at any game this season. I love that. But this weekend, the Shrimp are playing at home the 22nd through the 27th against the Gwinnett Braves. So be caller number 4 right now at 641-1010, and I'll hook you up.
All right, I love it. All right, one of our last mocks that has come in from our primetime audience, they were able to land Travis Hunter with that 5th pick overall, Kenneth Grant 42nd, Josiah Stewart off the edge 70th, A couple of other guys, they went interior linemen, including one of my favorite from Georgia that definitely could come in, Dylan Fairchild, a good player. And then on the other side of the ball, the linebacker, Smile, even though he spells it like Judge Schmales, Smile Mondon. I love that guy too. And he's got a handful of those guys that could come in and maybe make a play. I know a lot of people have a lot of different ideas about how this draft is going to go. I hope we do see some action around that 5th pick.
I mean, to your point, they addressed offensive line and free agency. Maybe they do think they're good there. Maybe they do think, all right, now it's time to address the defensive line.
I don't think they're good there. I just don't.
No, but I'm saying maybe they think that. Like Leon's been saying all along, maybe they think they're good with what they got.
Yeah,
I can't hope not.
But I looked at Leon as soon as you said it.
They don't.
You've been saying that, bro.
I mean, they brought in a lot of free agent offensive linemen. No splashes. All right, I'm in the shallow. I'm in the shallow end of the pool, bro.
Yeah.
In the shallow. Ooh, those splashes, man.
But I looked at Leon as soon as you said it, and we have to remind ourselves, one round does not a draft make. If they go defensive lineman or wherever else they go, they're not saying they're fine with their offensive line. They're just saying we're picking another premium player at just as important a position, and we'll come back tomorrow night, or we'll come back in later tonight. And we'll make sure that we handle that part of it, because both lines of scrimmage, my classic line, you guys are probably sick of hearing it. Can't get a 3rd and 1, can't stop a 3rd and 1. Mm-hmm. You got to fix both of those. They both have to be fixed.
So let me ask you a question. With all the talk about the building the inside out, if the first 3 picks are corner, running back, receiver, are you going to lose it? Are you going to kick in some doors, man?
Yeah, you'll be flipping and tripping it.
Yeah, I'm kicking some doors.
I mean,
If I don't get a big body by the 4th pick, I'm gonna be kicking in some doors.
Speaking of big bodies,
yes.
Now the 2-minute drill, serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling, locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. CoolCatsJacks.com.
The coolest cats in town.
I'm looking at the embedded and shredded one of your line mates for PG. Am I right? Am I right?
Yes.
Both looking slimmed down by
I feel a little light on my feet too.
Exactly.
Isn't it great?
Yeah.
Oh, it's awesome.
Well, you said last night that you.
A little. I ordered 10 wings, right? Lemon pepper, of course, and I could only eat 3.
I know. It's wild.
Wow.
It's a miracle of science.
It was.
And a little sad for Leon.
Sad too, a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. So you just heard what we were talking about. You've been talking about a bunch. It's finally here. It counts. It's for real tonight. At least we think they are going to pick somebody. I'm trying to set the table, Hayes, that they could be baiting others by saying they're going to be aggressive to move up by maybe getting someone else to jump in front of them or come catch them or whatever the case might be and make things interesting tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be a really dynamic night. I mean, to see what ends up happening after all the hype and all the talk and now we really get the first sense of what this administration is going to look like. Is it going to be a group of competent people, the right people to lead this organization, or is it going to be is the inexperience going to show up? And I think we'll see. But, I'm confident that they'll have a good night. I think they've got a lot of paths to a good night. Mm-hmm. And my guess is they're going to stick at 5. But I don't think you can move up. You can't give away next year's 1 because this team might be terrible again. And so you can't do that. As much as I'd love Travis Hunter, I don't think that's very realistic. Or it might be realistic that they could do it. I just wouldn't give up what you'd have to give up to get him.
That's a lot.
And we'll see. We'll see if the Bears thing is real and if they want to go to 5 to get Genty. that would be fantastic if the Jaguars can move back to 10 and pick up some draft capital. But can't wait to see it. We've been talking about it for a while, and now we're just, I guess, about 5 hours away from knowing what, at least early on, what the first move will be, whether that's a trade or whether that's a selection.
All right, you got a triple-decker sandwich of coverage.
I mean, this is about as big as it can get because we've got Rick Ballou, we've got Hacker, we have myself. So steel chairs will be involved, ladders will be involved, sledgehammers will be involved. It is going to be 3 hours of mayhem as we lead into the Jaguars draft show. So it should be a lot of fun. We'll obviously have, we'll break it down from every angle. I'll go into why I'm not a fan of Ashton Genty at 5, and we'll see what these two guys think. And hopefully for me, it's a big guy tonight. That's what I want. Regardless, I want this pick to be a 300-pound guy. So that's it. That's the first number I'm going to look at is weight. And there better be a 3 that starts that. That's what I want to see tonight.
All right, sounds good, Hayes. We'll be listening.
Also, Brian Thomas Jr. tonight.
Yeah, Brian Thomas Jr. will be with E. And that will be on the stream as well, right?
Yep.
So we will have it all going throughout the evening. That's in the 6 o'clock hour. So Hayes, Rick Ballou, Hack, they will all take it from this point on until 7 o'clock tonight with the draft show. Don't forget, you can watch all the coverage on YouTube, on our YouTube stream, especially once the draft goes live with analysis throughout the evening. We are done. Big Searcy, Maddie, Joe C., and JJ.
Take us back to your draft day. What do you remember from the day that you were drafted?
Dom, I don't remember too much. I had 41 Coors Light, so I couldn't tell you.
You remember 41?
Yeah, I remember 41.
You remember 41, but you don't remember what happened?
Don't remember.
Did you get a phone call? You had your family around you?
I had my drinking buddies with me.
Get more horsepower.